AG Labs, my name is Ben. Good morning. No, not good morning. Hello, welcome to the Micro Soldering Show. After a long time, when we had the last video, let me see when we had the last video. Give me 1 second to check that. When we had the last, I think about 10 days or things like that. Let me see. I go to my YouTube account and just check that. So the last video was about 1 week. Okay, it was the Kyle experiment. After that we just had a video which was speed up with some music. Okay, today we just have an iPhone X here, and the iPhone X has the problem that it just doesn't want to work anymore at all, and the customer needs the important data and he wants to have a fully working phone. So let's see if we can get that. I get you straight to the on-hands camera, and I hope that all is working because I didn't use that for a long time. So that's the device, and I want to see what's the problem with that. So let me see. They write that he already opened the phone and that the phone just doesn't work, and yeah. Okay. Do we have an ICC here? Plug one. Okay, but okay. Let's check by the ICC Pro. Let's see what the ICC Pro tells us about that device. And if the ICC Pro is right in what he says. Okay, it says check VCC main. Interesting. iPhone 7 VCC main. Basic stuff normally. So let's check that. Where is my screwdriver? Oh, okay. There are no screws in that, and somebody claimed my spatcher. So I want to have my spatcher again. What did I say? You spatzt it yesterday, and this is mine. It's like always. People, okay. Okay, this looks like shit. Yesterday I wasn't at the company, only about 2 hours, and while I was away, somebody claimed shit out of from my table, and that's just not okay. So when I go away in future, I just want to take my tools with me.
You need like a toolbox.
Yeah, a toolbox, and
quickly pack everything
to my East pack and goodbye. Or a safe, yes. Or screwdrivers which with electroshock. Okay, if some others grab my stuff, they get shocked. So let's take out the board. So here we have the board, and I just want to see what about the board. Okay, we have 5 amps directly, so this should be a short on VCC main. The ICC Pro was right, like like always. Yeah, we highlighted here. So Ilya, your baby was right, okay? So and we just do a cut here, and after that we can just separate the board, and let's see where we have the short. Why do I separate the board? Perhaps it's just a cap on the top, but I don't want to use heat on the top layer because the top layer is connected to the bottom layer, sandwiched, and I don't want to cause any problems like cold solder. And yeah, it's just, I do it always like that. I separate the board, then I just find the error, I remove it, and then I get the board back together with fresh solder, and I use 183, not cheap shit like 138 or things like that. No low melt solder. I just get a 183 on that. I just reconnect the board halves, and then we have a fully working device, and the device won't come back again with other problems. So that's really important for me. If I finish a repair, that I don't see the repair some days after here, and they tell me that something isn't working. And because from factory we have low melt solder between the board halves, and really often we have them bolt breaks between the board halves, and I don't want to risk anything. So if I repair a device, I want to repair it in the best way. And for me, it's just the best to renew the paste, the solder paste between the board halves. Okay. So let's just separate that. So we really need to speed up the process and to get it down as fast as possible. So it's always important to work as fast as possible to don't cause any heat damages. And you see, it's no problem to do it like that. Okay. So I did a lot of sandwiches today, like I would work at Subways. Good?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Am I working at Subways because I did a lot of sandwiches today? No. So let's check if we have the short on the top layer or on the bottom layer. For me, the fastest way is always to use the power supply, and just to see that. And we have the short on the top layer, so that's great. Yeah, let's check it by using the thermal cam. So let's see. Do you see that? Just a little cap next beside to the main power IC, okay? And just a short on VDD main. iPhone X, little cap next beside to the main power IC. I would get that now, baby. Okay. Let's check that. Normally, we should see it with our eyes. And I want to show you something new, thanks to Lixma. They just mailed me that beautiful tool today. So it's the Kianli iPinch, and you can use it for boards. It's just a board holder, and I want to say thank you, Lixma. And if you want to get that, just contact Lixma, lixma.de. Let's see if this works. Okay, looks good. Okay, we just go to the microscope camera. And now we are working directly next beside to the main power IC. And we don't want to risk any heat damages here. So the best way here is always to use a little amount of hot air, really small amount of hot air, just for help a little bit, and then just getting out the shorted component, in this case one cap on VDD main. And now let's see if we can take this out. Yeah, we can. You see? It's okay. We have many caps on VDD main, so if we remove a cap like this, it wouldn't make any sense to replace it, because we will definitely cause a short under the main power IC. So we had to renew that, to clean all that, and the CPU is laying next beside. So in the bad case, normally if I do not, but you have to know how to do, because otherwise you can cause cold solder under the CPU, then you can reball the CPU. So you had a small cap next beside to the base to the main power IC, and you just wanted to solve that, and in the effect, or at the end, you had a lot of trouble then, and that's not the way we want to go. Okay, so we have now removed the cap and the short has been gone. That's great. If I push the power button here on my iPower Max, the phone is stocking at 80 milliamps. The board is really hot, so if I cool down, it should be between 60 and 70 and recognized at the DAV mode without connected button board. Yeah, and now if I cool down, we are going down. We are at 64 now. Here, like you see, 64. Okay, great. So now it's just reballing the board, getting the board halves back together, and we can start by resoldering the board halves together. Okay. So I don't want to get my new board holder dirty now, so I just use my old Gilon one for getting down the solder paste. But this Qianli is really nice, the iPinch, I think. So let's take off the solder. Always think on removing the spaces. And because some people ask, for sure we have dust absorbers here, fume extractors for the solder dust, but sometimes, because we have three places, or three places absorbed by one main unit, sometimes you need to go straighter to the exhaust to get the smoke away. So we could have done this in a live video. So I think within the next days we just start another live video. Here now it's just recorded, but you see we do no cuts, no fakes, nothing. last times, now again, I see a lot of people trying the CPU level, and they are soldering about 1 or 2 months or 3 months, and they want directly to go to the CPU level, and they often write things like my stencil isn't working correctly, and tell me which stencil do I need for doing the CPU jobs. People, it's not about the equipment you use, it's about the experience and the skill. And it's not like if you try 100 CPUs and it works 1 or 2 times, you are not able to do the CPU. You just had success on 2 out of 100. So if you really do successful work in CPU cases, it has to run every fucking time. Okay, you need to have the highest success rate for this level, because it doesn't make any sense if it works 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 10 or even 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 5. You need to have 10 out of 10. If CPU is physically okay, you need to have 10 out of 10. And that's really important. And I read this in a lot of groups in Facebook, German and English, and every day different people. And for me it's just, if I would say yes, I can do the IMESA like Andy does, or I do a lot of flex cable repairs, multi-layer flexes, okay, that wouldn't be right, because I only can tell this if I have a success rate 100%. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to promote things like that, or to tell, yeah, I can do this, if you get 1 out of 10, 1 out of 5. That's just not correct. So in this case, I don't tell you that I'm able to do repair like the IMESA, because I have to study this. Okay, so if I study this and I do no other things for some month, and after that I do 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20, 100 out of 100, then I'm really able to do the IMESA. Okay, but if I can get 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 50 or 1 out of 10, I'm not able to do this. Please try to understand that it's not okay if you have success 1 time. That doesn't make any sense. You need to create your own techniques, and you need to just work on your techniques, and if you have success every time, then you are able to do something. And it's similar to all the repairs you have in this industry, to all. So just work. If you want to do that, just work on your skill. It's like the iPhone 10. The iPhone 10 came on the market, and I saw some people, and they rebuilt the board, and they don't have much success. 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20, and then they told, yes, we can do the iPhone export, and that's just not right. You only can say I'm able to do the iPhone export if it works every time. Think about this. Okay, now we just do a quick reball. And I really like this Kian Lee stencil, but one thing is not one thing I don't like on the stencil, and that is if you put on the top and you get hot air on it, it smells terrible, and I'm sure that it smells like cancer. Okay, it smells like, really, you can ask Andy or Ilya, the whole room smells like cancer. So I'm pretty sure that it's not healthy to use that, but I want to use it because it really works great, and you can do the reball really fast, and the handling is really good. But I think they should work on the material for this for the top, because it really smells bad. So I'm thinking about doing my own top out of a CNC, and then just use that, because where we have the top of the, here it's this one, and this material smells really ugly. If you heat it up, it smells ugly. So Andy came in some days before I was already working, because I'm always here really early, and he came in and said, what about that dust in here? It's really not healthy. And I said, yeah, it's just reballing the iPhone X. Yeah, that's one thing I think we should work on. Getting tools which are don't bad for your health. But now I have to use it one time again for this iPhone X reball. iPhone X middle layer frame board reball like ever. You see, this stencil works really great. It works really amazing. So I like it because it just works, and it isn't hard to do a reball with that stencil. But the smell, it smells terrible. Smog, like you go to a big city and they are driving hundreds of cars, thousands of cars, and you just lay down on the street and take the whole smog in your lungs. Oh, you see? One ball. This hasn't happened for a really long time, that a ball just doesn't want to sit. But now we are here again. Okay, we go one time around the world, like I always say on these iPhone X or on these sandwich board reballs in general. Done. Lifting up the stencil. Clean one time. Lift up, clean the other side, have a look, and use some flux as long as the board is hot. And just do a quick reflow. done. Take out the heat insulation. And clean the board. Just using a brush for doing that. And push with the wipe. Great. We did a great job. So the reboard is really perfect. We cleaned already the top. So we can now just get the boards back together. Just use some flux, but wait until the board becomes a little bit hot, and after that we can just get in the flux, and then we can place the top layer or the top board, and then just getting them boards back together. Like you see, I'm not a fan of using sockets because it just takes time. I just have a look on power supply for seeing values, and if values are okay, I just do the next step. So looks good. Going up to 183 or 185 degrees. And we go here. And now we just help by using some hot air. Looks like the board is a little bent here. So before I solder that down, I just want to bend the board back here. Sometimes you see that. Then we place it again. So it makes more sense to do that now, because otherwise it won't sit perfect. Okay. And again? Yeah. Now it looks straight. Great. More straight than before. Was wäre da die Frage? Die Daten bleiben vor. And we are done. Great. Pulling off the preheater, just waiting a short time. David, Gerade fertig.
Laden bleiben.
Gerade fertig.
Ich die Rechnung aber jetzt. Wow.
Nee, kannst du gleich machen. So, okay. Just take the board here. And we wait a short time until the board cooled down. And then we just have a look if this board wants to work again. What do I have here on my head? David, is something laying here on my hair?
Ja.
Looks good again. Okay, we take the board to the dust absorber. Like that. And now we just take the screen. So I'm pretty sure it will work, so I don't connect before connecting the screen to power supply. I directly take it like that. So we have no short. So I'm pretty sure that this board wants to boot again now, and boom! We are back to life again with our iPhone X after just a little short on VDD main, short kept next beside to the main power IC. I just kicked the cap out because the risk was too high at this point to cause damages at the main power IC, and I don't want to replace that now. Yeah, I just don't know if there are any private pictures on the spring screen. So here you can see, okay, and the passcode, the phone is working fine again. I just need to clean the board completely, renew the glue stickers, and getting the phone completely back together for the customer. I hope you liked the video. If you've seen, I'd do it out now. If you saw here, this tool is really important and really great. So we just knew that there is a short on VDD without even disassembling the phone. So that's a big plus point for all the technicians in the world. I would be happy to see you at our Facebook group, Smartphone Repair Group Germany, but please answer the questions, otherwise we can't accept you. And by the way, you should order the ICC Pro on iccpro.de/en.html for English version, and I would be happy if you would buy that tool, because in my opinion every technician in the whole world needs that. I'm out. We see us with the next one. Boom! Back to life again. Yours Ben.